Hi, Grace Church. This is Pastor Tim with a video update. This coming Sunday evening, April the 2nd, beginning at 6 p.m., we're going to gather again in this room for another worship and prayer evening. We're going to respond to God, who is so worthy of our worship, and we are going to call out to Him in united prayer. These evenings of worship and prayer have been so meaningful during 2023. And as Passion Week kicks off, we want to have another evening where we're gathering together, focused on the Lord in worship, and calling out to Him together in united prayer. We want Him to do a work in us and through us during Passion Week. This coming Sunday, we're going to wrap up our series in 1 Thessalonians, Life Together in Community. I have an opportunity to open the Word and preach this Sunday morning. I look forward to it very much. We're also, as a part of this Sunday morning service, going to be thinking together about that day when Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey. It was festive. He was hailed as Hosanna. And virtually no one in that crowd would have surmised that later that week, Jesus would die on a cross just outside Jerusalem. Passion Week is a significant week for Christians around the world, and we want to join with followers of Jesus around the world during Passion Week, remembering Jesus, His death, burial, and resurrection. On Friday evening, April the 7th, we are going to gather in this room for a Good Friday service. It's a significant and unique service for us. It's a very reflective service. We will that evening remind one another to pause and to remember the cross, to remember what happened there, to remember the suffering and the death of Jesus, not rushing ahead to Sunday morning on that Friday evening. We'll encourage one another to leave the auditorium quietly. We hope you can be here. It's an incredibly meaningful service to remember the love of God demonstrated at the cross through the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. And then on Sunday morning, April the 9th at 10 a.m., on Resurrection Sunday, we are going to celebrate with abandon the resurrection of Jesus. He is alive, and we celebrate that. And it is reason for hope for us. It animates our purpose as we follow Him, that Jesus Christ is alive. We hope you can be with us. Make plans to be with us during our Passion Week services and our remembrance. And I would just say this, on Resurrection Sunday, we want to encourage those of you in the Grace Church family to, would you consider this? Would you consider coming early, and when you come, to come closer to the front as you come in, and even consider moving into the center of rows. We want to serve well. So many people from our community who we anticipate may well be with us on that Sunday. Just as an example, currently, and we've been growing as a fellowship, but currently there's about 350 people on a Sunday morning. Last year on Resurrection Sunday, there were over 475 people here. And so what we want to do is provide opportunity for guests who come in to perhaps find places in the back where they can just slip in, or at the ends of rows. Just help us to be good hosts on Resurrection Sunday. We want to celebrate as a church family at Grace, and we want to serve well the guests that are going to be with us on that day. So if you could think about that and help us with that, that'd be wonderful. As a church in Delta County, we want to be a good neighbor in our community, and many of you are aware of the fact that there was a young man who died in a tragic auto accident about a week and a half ago. His name's Cole Posse. And what we have done is we have opened our facility for that funeral service. There's going to be a visitation here this Friday from 1 to 5 at Grace. The funeral service is going to be at 5 p.m. Pastor John and Pastor Jordan are both going to have a part in that service, along with a pastor from a Methodist congregation in the community who has got long-standing relationship with that family. But would you be praying that the Lord would be powerfully at work that day, certainly comforting and providing support to this family that's grieving during this very raw and difficult time. And then pray that the Lord would be lifted up and honored as a part of that service. Join us in praying for that. And then finally, in this video update, I want to say to you, Grace Church, in the calendar year 2023, through the first several months, we, at least at this point, appear to be about 15 to 17% behind our giving to general fund from where we were last year. And all I'm doing here is just appealing to you as a church family. Grace Church has historically responded to need when we've become aware of need. And this is a very real need for us right now. Some of our ministries may be facing the very real possibility of a spending freeze here in the days ahead. We want to be good stewards of what has been entrusted to us. We also want the church family to be aware of this need as it would relate to our general fund. And would you pray about it? And as the Lord prompts, the Lord leads, as the Lord provides, would you do what you can to just share with others in stepping up to this need that we've got as a church family right now. Well, that's it for this week's video update. Blessings on you, Grace Church. You're very loved, and look forward to seeing you soon.